I'm here at Operation Food Search for today's quick tip video. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite brownie recipes. Makes delicious, rich, fudgy, moist brownies, and they are made with an entire can of black beans. I know it might sound surprising, but I promise you cannot taste the beans in the recipe. So today we are going to make the brownies just using a food processor, so just a one-pot meal, and it's super easy to come together. So let's get started. So first I'm going to drain and rinse my can of black beans. Alright, so I have my whole can of black beans drained and rinsed, and I've added them to the food processor. And I'm also going to add in my half a cup of canola oil or vegetable oil into the food processor. And then we're going to simply puree these two ingredients together until there aren't any lumps left. And it'll take about 2 minutes on high. So we'll just assemble our food processor here. You can also use a blender for this recipe. And we're going to puree it up. Alright, now that our black beans and oil are all pureed and it's relatively smooth, again, it does not have to be perfect. You just want a lot of those large chunks to kind of smooth out in there. We're going to add in our other ingredients. We're going to add in our 2 eggs into just the food processor. Again, you don't have to dirty up a bunch of different bowls. We're going to add in our sugar, and we have 2/3 cup of granulated sugar into our container here. And we are going to add in our vanilla, about a teaspoon. I just like to dump it in. I don't always measure it. And then lastly, the ingredient we're going to add in is half of a cup, or half of our half cup chocolate chips, so about a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. We're actually going to melt it in the microwave so it's nice and smooth and blends right into the recipe. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I have our chocolate nice and melted here. So I just pop it in the microwave for about 20-second intervals, stirring it in between until it's nice and smooth. You can also melt it over a double boiler, which would be a pot of simmering water, and you put your glass bowl or metal bowl over top of that. Microwave just is the easiest for me. So we're also adding in our cocoa into this step, because again, we want that nice chocolate flavor in our brownies. And then we're going to add in our melted chocolate. I like to use a spatula to get out all of the chocolate. You can also use like chocolate syrup if you have that as well. All of the chocolate. Alright, we're going to pop our lid back on and then blend it until it's nicely combined. Alright, our wet ingredients are all combined, so now we're just going to add in our remaining ingredients. So we have a 1/3 cup of flour, and you can also incorporate whole grain flour in here. I'm just using all-purpose flour. We have a half a teaspoon of baking powder. This will help it rise, but again, it's going to be nice fudgy brownies. It really doesn't need a whole lot of that rising agent. And then we're going to pulse it just until it's combined before adding in our last ingredient, which is the remaining chocolate chips. And you really don't want to overmix it here, so it's really just until you combine it. Alright, just a few seconds of blending. And the last ingredient is our whole chocolate chips. Sometimes I'll use the mini chocolate chips just so there's more chocolate chips throughout. And then again, I'm just going to pulse it just until it combines. But again, not too much because you do want some chocolate chips in there. Alright, it's all combined. So now I'm going to just pour this into my greased baking sheet here. So I just sprayed it with a little oil. And we're going to dump in our brownie mixture. Can't see the black beans. And what's nice about using whole chocolate chips, if you didn't blend up your black beans completely, when you do bite into the brownie, you won't know if you're biting into a chocolate chip or a bean. And then you'll pop this into a preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, or until it gets like a little set around the edges, but it's still a little shiny in the middle. Alright, so I'm going to pop this into the oven. It's been about 20 minutes and our brownies are done. So pull them out of the oven. You want to set them on a cooling rack and let them cool for about 15 minutes before you cut them open and enjoy them. So these brownies are rich, fudgy, and they're packed full of good for you fiber and protein from those black beans. So it's a fun brownie recipe to make, but again, it tastes like a dessert and is delicious, but also good for you. I hope you enjoy, and let me know in the comments below if you make these brownies.